Angel Reese is still going after Caitlin Clark in the aftermath.
Everyone in the arena had to know this foul was coming. As soon as you saw Angel Reese wide open, you knew that Caitlin Clark was going to come in and take that foul.
Walk me through your perspective on the flagrant foul, and what was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know. If either Angel gets wide open 2 points, or we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
She just completely embarrassed Angel Reese. Like people need to stop lying and gaslighting. Let's leave the race out of it, man.
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com, ladies and gentlemen. We got our brand new Trump 2028 merch. I love trolling these liberals, but I do think Trump's legacy will continue on. All the things that he's been able to accomplish will continue on through 2028, to be quite honest. So you put in OT28, you get 28% off, and we got a bunch of other cool merch items. So make sure you go and scroll through the store so you can get your favorite items here. And also, we got SHINERGY that's out right now. The day and the night drink. I'm actually drinking a day drink. I drink it every single day, and I drink the night every single night. It really helps really good sleep and focus. You can look at the little chart here. But down here is where you get discounts for life. So if you're a military veteran, first responder, student, teacher, a commercial driver, 60 and over, health worker, or you're on government assistance, means you're on disability or something like that, we give you a discount for life on the store. So go down there and check in and do what you got to do. Like, subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at my dad's house. You see all the paraphernalia in the background. Shout out to my dad, 40 years of service, getting ready to retire here coming soon. But however, I need to talk about this real quick. Angel Reese and this whole Caitlin Clark thing, like it's coming up again. They can't let it die out. It's always got to be a race thing.
You know, Greeny, I would say, I think folks that truly love the game of basketball need to be mindful. You need to respect the humanity of these women, whether you are Team Clark or Team Reese, although you can certainly be both, right? The aftermath, the fact that the WNBA has to put out a statement because of racist comments and unsafe conditions toward Angel Reese. Like, I just want people to be mindful that whether you like it or not, anytime something happens with the two of them, one is automatically put as a victim and one is automatically put as someone who needs to be saved, when in reality, both are excellent competitors. They both said this was a basketball play. Now, Greeny, let's be honest. If this was the other way around, oh, Lord, you can only imagine how the conversation would have gone.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And when you
Let's just keep it 100. Caitlin Clark is by far better than Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. Angel Reese can't hold a bag of tea to Caitlin Clark. We just saw on the opener where Caitlin Clark had a triple-double or something, and she scored 30 points.
More of that from her, catching around that 15-foot area.
Clark connects! Clark in transition. Clark, oh, what a look! And Hull lays it in! Clark hitting Boston. Boston fakes and lays it in. The way that makes her a threat from so many different places on the floor. Clark, little mid-range, is good. The quarter, Caitlin Clark, 12 in the half. Clark, 4 seconds left. Clark fires. You bet! Rebecca Allen, too strong on a three. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark. Afterwards has something to say as Clark walks away. We know there are always increased eyeballs, energy, and attention around the matchups between Reese and Clark, and Angel Reese is still going after Caitlin Clark in the aftermath.
Everyone in the arena had to know this foul was coming. As soon as you saw Angel Reese wide open, you knew that Caitlin Clark was going to come in and take that foul.
walk me through your perspective on the flagrant foul, and what was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know. If either Angel gets wide open 2 points, or we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
She just completely embarrassed Angel Reese. Like people need to stop lying and gaslighting. Let's leave the race out of it, man. The girl, Caitlin Clark, is just a baller. Angel Reese isn't that good. And when I see her do layups and rebound, she's goofy, she's sloppy, she can't shoot. It's not even close. Now, we see that because, obviously, what happened on the game day. However, you got your usual suspects. One of which, and I don't think he was malicious about it, but I think Stephen A. Smith was off on this. I disagree with him on this sentiment. And then Ryan Clark, who's the race hustling, I don't like to use the word sellout, but to me, he's a sellout. He's a race hustling sellout. For him to have as much success as he's had, and he played with my favorite player, Sean Taylor, which I don't think he deserved to be a safety along with Sean Taylor, as whack as he is politically. He has something silly to say. I want to make this very clear. Caitlin Clark's success and Angel Reese's success has nothing to do with race. Let's start with Stephen A., and then I'm going to get to Ryan Clark because I got to rip him. Now, Stephen A. made a couple comments saying that the reason that Caitlin Clark became incredibly successful is because white folks felt some type of way about Angel Reese's ghetto butt and the way she treat Caitlin Clark. I don't think that's the case. I think there's a tremendous rivalry with people who love Caitlin Clark and also the LSU faithful. And so LSU faithful wouldn't like Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark, people that like her, don't like the LSU faithful. That's what it is. When you start doing this and they beat them down, and the revenge story of Caitlin Clark and how much better of a player she is, that's the reason why these things happen. Let me go to Stephen A. so you can hear what he said. Roll it.
It's about that white player and that black player. Why? Because of the history that they had before they came to the WNBA. You see, it was all instigated. If Angel Reese was never in Caitlin Clark's face, taunting her the way that she did when they mimicking what Caitlin Clark was doing to numerous opponents en route to the Final Four. And then Angel Reese and LSU bust their living, you know what, at that particular moment in time. And Angel Reese was in her face chirping at her the way that she did, it would have never gotten to this point. But I have never deemed that to be a bad thing. I love that kind of confrontation. I love that kind of heat. But there are white folks in America that had a problem with Angel Reese coming at the chosen one, Caitlin Clark, that way. And because of that, they acted with the level of vitriol. How do we know that? Because Angel Reese came back to college the following year. And one of the things that reduced to the tears was the vitriol that she was receiving from around the country because people were hating on her because of her elevated popularity and the fact that she had gone at Caitlin Clark that way. So now we come to the WNBA. No fault of Caitlin's at all. But in the end, because of her greatness and because people were resistant to accepting her greatness the way which I have articulated on many occasions, you have people using that as an excuse to throw vitriol at other people. But in the end, here's what I say. That's contributed to Angel Reese becoming a household name, according to along with the fact she's a rebounding demon. The girl she grabs and rebounds, she can play, but that's elevated her level of popularity. And what I would say to all of y'all is this: as a person that's covered the NBA and grew up watching the NBA, no matter how great Michael Jordan was, obviously, it started with Bird versus Magic. Yeah, you could talk about Showtime versus Boston, but that white superstar losing in that national championship game to that dude called Magic at Michigan State when he was at Indiana State, and then ultimately coming into the NBA, and they constantly met in the finals about 3 times, and they owned most of the 80s in terms of the two teams respectively. The bottom line is it contributed to elevating the popularity. Yeah. So Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, embrace this.
Now, like I said, I'm shocked that Stephen A. made this about race, but I'm also not shocked because I think that a lot of times people still got this in their mind that everything is about race. Caitlin Clark is just better. Caitlin Clark, I like Caitlin Clark better. And I'm not even a women's basketball person. It's just that somebody who has decorum, somebody who's professional, somebody who's a great player, a good team player, that's what I like. And Angel Reese is super ghetto. She dressed like a prostitute on her social media. Like, what is it to like about that? That's not. I don't care what color they are. The fact that you go on Caitlin Clark's social media and she's modest or whatever, and you go to Angel Reese and she literally in bikinis with her booty hanging out, and almost every video she's super ghetto. When they get into it, she all standing like she want to fight somebody. Man, I don't like that. I don't care what color you are. Now let's get to Ryan Clark real quick, because Ryan Clark is Breakfast Club had donkey of the day. Ryan Clark is the donkey of the century. Listen to how silly he is talking about RG3. Roll the clip.
We moved in to being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent, know their character, know their perspective. But he does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Caitlin Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story. Right. The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what Black women have to endure in this country, about what young Black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Caitlin Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the Black women that have come before her. And now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes. And I think this is what I'd like RG3 to know, that no matter how much he continues to echo the microaggressions of racists, he'll be no less Black than me.
Now this man, this is the part that kills me about Black dudes that hate Black men who date white women. He literally said RG3 don't have conversations in his home regarding Black women. How do you know RG3 don't have any valuable thing to say about Black women? He was raised by a Black woman. I bet you $1 million he grew up and all his family is Black. His aunties are Black. Like, just because he married a white woman don't mean he don't understand anything about Black people. And just because you white don't mean you can't have a conversation about Black people. I don't get it. It's funny because a Black man can get on TV and have commentation or do commentary about white people, but white people can't commentate about Black people. He can tell us what RG3's white wife is thinking, and at the same time act as if she don't know what Black people are thinking. How are you predicting what a white person thinks? If you can predict or project what a white person thinks, then so can a white person think what, at least have a conversation about what Black people think. And it's crazy to me, y'all, because I get it often from brain dead individuals that are saying, you married to a white woman, you don't know. As if a man who's married to a white woman don't know black people. Like all of a sudden you go through your whole life being black, and all of a sudden when you marry a white woman, all the black people in your life disappear. Like last time I checked, my mama is black. My dad's black. All of my family is black. I have black friends that are male and female. What are you talking about? And that's the reason why I think that Ryan Clark is an idiot. And these guys literally push this victimhood mentality every step of the way. RG3, like everybody else, is not brainwashed into being racist, which means that they only care about their own race. Like, no, we can see it for what it is. I showed the highlight earlier in the video. Caitlin Clark was working them. They beat them by like 40 points. What is your excuse? And if Angel Reese was actually pretty good, I wouldn't be saying this. But like Angel Reese compared to Caitlin Clark, it's not even close, bro. This is not Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal. This is not Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. This is literally a all-star player that's probably the best player in the league. If she's not, she's at least top 5. Against a player that's not, in my opinion, not as good. She's not, Angel Reese is not the big man. Karl Malone, that's back when I watched basketball. Karl Malone, Shaquille O'Neal. Now they got Dirk Lewinsky. I mean, he kind of was a big man when I was watching. Now they got Jokovic or whatever the guy's name is. Angel Reese ain't one of them. Caitlin Clark is the LeBron James and the Steph Curry, she's one of them players. But anyway, y'all comment and tell me what you think. Am I tripping on my own or something? I'll see you in the comment section. I'm out.